Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stogie Review Short Ashes. I am Walt, and if you're not familiar with these short ashes videos, basically the objective is to take my long, approximately 30-minute video and condense it and just do something brief. About 10, maybe 12 minutes is probably the longest I've gone so far, and recover a cigar that I've done in the past, or a cigar that I've reviewed in the past. And the cigar of the evening is one that I received just the other day, but I reviewed it a little while back, and that is the Top Shelf Signature Select Pure Corojo, which is Jim Cronin's red label. Now, I got this cigar just a few days ago. I was down at Jim's shop down in Skip Pack recording a blind tasting, and I was down there. We did 2 cigars that day. I had 2 cigars prior to that. I had 2 on the way down, and then you know, the 2 tasting cigars. And at the end of the night, it felt like my tongue was growing fur, and I really couldn't taste much of anything. And Jim hands me a cigar on the way out the door, and he says, "There you go. Here's a cigar for the ride home." And I just kind of, all I could do was just shake my head and laugh. I stuck the cigar in my pocket and came home, and I really had no interest whatsoever in smoking another cigar that day. And this is the cigar that Jim gave me, and I just had the itch for something I remembered being full-bodied and very rich in those Corojo flavors that I like so much. So I ran down to the cooler, grabbed the Top Shelf red label, and here we go. If you want specifics on the cigar, the makeup and such, you need to check out the original review of the Top Shelf Signature Select Pure Corojo red label, and all that information is there, as well as inside the video. So that about does it for the introduction. I'll be back. We'll get started on the first third, and try to keep this video as brief as possible. So sit tight. Well, welcome back. I am plugging away on my Top Shelf Signature Select Pure Corojo, and it's been about, I don't know, I really haven't been keeping track, about 25 minutes. I've been smoking the cigar a little slow. Turned the camera off, got the cigar burning well, took that first puff, which was a big first puff, passed the smoke through my sinuses, said a few choice words, my eyes began to water a little bit, and I remembered that I should probably go back and check the previous review I did to gauge how full the smoke was going to be. It completely caught me off guard, even though I've had a couple of them in the past. It's been just long enough for me to forget just how powerful the smoke was. It just lays on very, very heavy. It's almost got a mild numbing effect to the roof of my mouth. The smoke is just very powerful. There's lots and lots of spice. The Corojo flavors are very apparent, and you know, I think this cigar actually may have been better suited for tomorrow after Thanksgiving dinner, but it's enjoyable. I'm pairing it up with a little bit of Maker's Mark, and the combination is going well. The cigar is definitely overpowering the bourbon, but not so much in a bad way. It's going. Burn rate is good. Burn line's a little heavy in spots. Slightly wavy, not really a problem. Ash is fairly light in color. I'm getting what looks like a stacking effect in the ash. It's tight, holding shape. Smoke rate seems to be very good. Mild resting smoke, lots of smoke when I take a puff of the cigar, just loads and loads of smoke in the mouth. I just need to remember not to force it all through my sinuses and retrohale it, because it is quite a task. There's just a tremendous amount of spice and depth that comes through. It literally, you know, made my eyes water. That initial puff was just a little too much. So anyway, I'm enjoying it so far, even though it's a little bit more powerful than I remembered. This is actually a larger size. I had a Corona Gorda, I think. This looks more along the lines of a Toro. So I don't know whether the extra ring gauge is giving it a little more punch, or what whether I'm just whether I'm smoking this one a little earlier than I did my first one, or the one I did a review on. But At any rate, sit tight. I'll be back with the second third and see how the Top Shelf Signature Select Pure Corojo Red Label develops. Well, welcome back. And as you can see, I'm working through my Top Shelf Signature Select Red Label. And I've got to say, I'm enjoying it. It is, it's very powerful. It's a bit much for what I was shooting for this time of night, but you know, I'm enjoying it nonetheless. It's got some interesting flavor, and it's kind of funny. The spice and the strength is just incredibly heavy. It gives you this mild, almost sort of a numbing sensation on the roof of the mouth and sort of the front portion of my tongue. And as that begins to settle, I get this sort of strange cooling effect. It's just this minor cooling sensation that it comes over, you know, the same portions that were partially numbed, and it's different. It's enjoyable. The flavors are very rich, just all out, very rich, deep Corojo flavor, and it just keeps coming and coming and coming. As the cigar gets shorter, these flavors pick up more depth, more complexity. They become richer, and it's just a knockdown, drag out, in your face Corojo bomb, and you know, I'm enjoying it. I like it. Smoke rate is good. I'm getting lots and lots of smoke with each puff. It's very easy to pass through the sinuses. It's a little too easy, just a little bit too much smoke, and you know, my eyes start to water. I get that stinging sensation through the nose. Burn line is good. It's actually straightened out quite a bit from where it was, even though it wasn't very bad to begin with. Wrapper colors, it's got this nice deep red hue to it. Thin, dark black burn line. And firm ash. It holds about an inch before it comes off the end of the cigar. At about an inch, a gentle tap over the ashtray takes care of it, and all is well, and the cigar is ready to be, you know, puffed on again. So, you know, there's not much to report other than that. So I'm going to get back to watching House and sipping on a little bourbon, and I'll be back. We'll cover the final third of the cigar, wrap it up, and let you be on your way. Well, welcome back. It's been, I think just under 2 hours or so, and my Top Shelf Signature Select Red Label is coming to a close, or I should say it will be shortly. In about 15 minutes my favorite show comes on, and I don't watch a ton of TV, but I always look forward to watching Sons of Anarchy, and season finale comes on in a few minutes, and I don't smoke in the living room, so I'm gonna get about 15 more minutes out of the cigar, put it down, and then go watch some TV. All in all, you know, I really enjoyed the cigar. It really was much. It was much more of a powerhouse than I remembered, or at least maybe this size is coming across that way. It just has very heavy flavors, very rich Corojo flavors. Every time you take a puff, I just kind of get this washed over feeling of Corojo flavor, spice, leather, and even some nutty flavors. And it's just a sort of wave that comes on and then fades, and I get this sort of cooling sensation on the mouth. And then I feel refreshed and clean and ready to go. The finish is sort of right down the middle. It's not dry, but it's not creamy. It's unoffensive. It's sort of on the fence. It could go either way, and I would still find it enjoyable. And the body is very full. You know, I'm not quite sure what this cigar cost, and I don't have the other review up in front of me. But I think I paid about $7 for the Corona Gorda, and it was a little pricey, or it was a little more than what I generally pay for cigars. But you know, I think this cigar performs very well. It lays out lots and lots of flavor, and the reasoning for the higher cost over the black and blue label, from what I understand, is there's more premium tobacco used in the pure Corojo. Therefore, you know, Jim's got to pay a higher price for the cigar, and in turn that just equates into a higher price for the end user, or the consumer in this point. So, I definitely enjoy it. It's not something you want to dive into first thing in the morning or even early afternoon, and it's something you may not want to look into if you feel comfortable smoking mild, medium-bodied cigars. If you're a full-bodied cigar smoker and you're looking for very rich, very aggressive Corojo flavor, then this is a cigar that you might want to look into, because that's just what it's going to provide, a very aggressive Corojo flavor format. And you're either going to really enjoy it, or you're probably not going to like it. I don't see very many people being middle of the road because of how potent the Corojo flavor is on this cigar. At least for me, I couldn't see myself being middle of the road. Either I enjoy it or I really wouldn't. It's not something I think I could warm up to, just because of the intense Corojo flavor of the smoke. Retrohaling the smoke will still get you a little bit. It keeps a very spicy tone to it, and sending it through the sinuses gives you a nice shot, and it gets me right on the verge of my eyes watering when I blow too much smoke through my sinuses. All in all, I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed the rest of the other two house blends that Top Shelf Cigars puts out as well. The Blue Label and the Black Label. If I had to pick a favorite of the lineup, I think it would definitely be the Black Label. And I sort of played around with it a little bit, tried it with different drinks, and the Black Label with Macallan Scotch I think is a fantastic pairing. If you ever get the opportunity to try the Black Label with Macallan, you should definitely try that out and see if it's anywhere near as good for you as it is for me. But that concludes our short ashes segment. Final note on the cigar is you may want to smoke this last in the day. At least for me, I don't think anything I could smoke after this would stand up to the fullness of the cigar. Maybe an El Cobre or a V Maduro, but for me, this is going to be the last cigar of the night. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this quick little condensed short ashes video. And until I do another one, which is sort of erratic, I'm not quite sure when I'm going to do them. They just happen to fit into my schedule, and I do them. And the nice thing about it is there's just no notes. There's no pictures to take. There's no research to do ahead of time. It's just flat out, just off the cuff kind of a video, and it just makes it much easier to do on a irregular basis. So until next time, happy smoking.